And welcome to the MacMost Daily vlog. Hey Jay, how did you spend your Sunday?
I spent my Sunday organizing my iTunes library.
What a good little spring cleaner.
You have a library of iTunes? I just have the one.
Well, see, I've always had this problem, you know, I've heard about iPod syncing, but I've always been afraid, because to me, synchronization means it's a two-way process. In other words, it says,
we're going to be the same.
We're going to be the same, except that I'm not going to take anything away from here, and I'm going to make sure that everybody, you know, in other words, if I have 5 more songs on my iPod, I don't want to lose those songs when they synchronize. So you want to make sure that your iTunes library on your computer has the exact same content that your iPod does.
Remember, if you have a problem with your iTunes syncing, it's probably because there's a leak.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's it. And so somehow I'd ended up with a lot more songs on my iPod than I had in my iTunes library, and so and Apple doesn't like that, and what it wants to do is
the
replace.
music company's frown on that
too. But there are some programs out there that allow you to recover music from your iPod and move them to your computer.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, and I mean, if you own the music and you got it legitimately, that's a legitimate thing to do.
Sure, yeah.
And so what I did is I got a program that is an open source program that is iTunes spelled backwards, Sunuti.
That's good.
Yeah, and it allowed me to finally get all these songs off of my iPod into my iTunes music library. Now, of course, I thought this would be an easily automatable process, but what I mistakenly checked was copy songs to iTunes Music in the preferences of my iTunes. And so what I ended up now with was 2 entire copies of all my songs in my entire iTunes library.
Oh.
And so you know, huge. It was like, you know, 8 gigs. And so fortunately, there is a feature in iTunes now where you can go show duplicates.
Oh.
Yes. So, but it doesn't allow you to sort, you know, like the first copy here and all the second copies here. It's every other one. So you have to go through 5,000 songs and highlight every other one, and then go delete and move to the trash can.
Oh, man.
Wow.
And so this is time consuming.
Yeah.
And you think that there's some really good Apple scripts out there that do a lot of things in iTunes, but this particular thing, I could not find an Apple script that would accurately, you know, say, this is a duplicate. Get rid of it.
Maybe the viewers know of.
Yeah, that would be.
Yeah, maybe.
Now that you're finished.
Yeah.
well, and sorting in iTunes in general is something that I've had a problem with. Oftentimes, what I want to do is sort by the artist's name, but I want it to keep albums together in chunks.
Sure. Well, there's a preference for it, but.
Okay, then maybe it's just something that I'm not aware of. But for me,
can you return tracks
I'll
to
have
original order?
Well, the tracks are numbered.
It should be, but see, now this is another thing: is how much ID3 information comes from. Like if you get music from eMusic, like I do, or some other
how much
other
of
source,
the details comes with it.
How much of the ID3 tag comes across
I
into
used to have
iTunes.
that problem with eMusic a long time ago. I haven't tried it recently. They didn't have track numbers on them. I had a
they usually don't have track numbers.
See,
they make you work for your music.
And things like genres and you know, like there's some tags in that iTunes has that aren't in standard ID3 tags, like genre or something.
Well,
like that.
and one thing that you can do too is oftentimes I'll import a CD that I own, for example, and it'll put it maybe it's a hip hop CD and it puts it in the genre of pop, and I'm like, no. So what I think is you can go in and show info and manipulate those information.
I'm ideologically opposed to the idea of genres anyway, so I just
me too, but sometimes
I hate it when there's something that's not in genre. Like when I'm DJing and I'm going to do a
trance. Then you want to be able to pull up all trance.
Yeah, pull up all my trance. And, you know.
Or sometimes I'm in a hip hop mood or a reggae mood, and so I want to differentiate. You know, or like I don't want to be on shuffle and have Tori Amos come up and Dave Matthews, and then it's like Wu-Tang Clan. You know, I want to be able to.
when that happens.
I want to be able to sort by genre.
Twice today.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be the Tory Wu-Tang.
Happy iTuning, everybody.